Welcome to CUR President Quarterly, where we get to interview our 2021-2022 CUR President and hear straight from the Executive Board what is happening in CUR, behind the scenes, and from our community. I'm Elizabeth Morris, Director of Brand Engagement for CUR, and I am excited to be virtual here with Jean Mikolajczyk. First, Jean, thank you so much for joining me today. I know the start of the membership year, academic year, and your presidency keep you so busy. But before I jump into it, how are you?
Good morning, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for having me. You know, that is an excellent question, isn't it? And every time someone asks me that, I really need to think, right? So I'm really of two minds. On the one hand, you know, I'm really grateful for my health, the health of my family. You said campuses are open again, as ours is, and I'm appreciative to have students back and love the energy. I'm also energized by the human spirit and ability to persist through this pandemic. And at the same time, I'm also exhausted, right? Just like everyone else.
I feel you on that one.
By the continued uncertainty, shifting daily landscape, you know, so there we are.
No, I feel you. I am embarrassed to say, but I'm in that same boat. I have those conflicts of thoughts every day, you know, thankful for my health, thankful for my family, but man, life is tough, right?
It is.
In all different aspects.
It's all true.
Yes, but I hope that, you know, I thank you so much for being honest. And I love to do that check-in because I wish that people did it more for me, really. And I hope that our members can feel open about their emotions, as well as at least a little comfort in knowing that we're all going through something, even though it all might be different. And we do have those conflicts of emotions currently. So, you know, I know that you had posted something in the community a few months ago about emailing you if you ever wanted to talk to you. Is that the offer still on the table?
The offer is still on the table. You know, one of the great strengths I find is in the community of CUR. And if I can be of support, I am delighted to serve in that role. And my information is in the community for anyone to reach out at any time.
That's amazing. Thank you. Okay, well, let's switch it up. Let's go back to, you know, what we came here for. We wanted to discuss some of what the community might be interested in, but let's still stay on the topic of you because I love it. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself for those who may not know you?
Sure, my pleasure. So I am so delighted to be here today. I am a professor of sociology, and I currently serve as Associate Provost of Academic Programs at Radford University in Virginia. In this role, I provide senior leadership and direction for units in three functional areas: high-impact practices, academic support, and strategic initiatives. I've been a social science division counselor since 2006. In my time with CUR, I've also served as chair of social science, an institute facilitator, and an e-board member. About me more personally, you know, I've been married for over 20 years to my college sweetheart, who's been listening to me talk about the transformative power of undergraduate research now for over 2 decades, and is a strong supporter. Together, we parent a teenage son who's a little less interested in hearing me talk about undergraduate research, as you might imagine. Unless maybe I can tie it somehow to Minecraft, but then, you know, there's also other layers to that. All three of us are humble servants to all the cats that my husband can convince us to bring into the house. Currently, we are at 3. And the other day on a walk, I ran into, 3 little kittens ran up to me. And so I think there's a negotiation underway. We'll see about more cats.
Are you gonna double? Are you gonna do 6?
So we live in a bit of a rural area and have had, you know, both indoor and outdoor cats over time. Right now we have 3 indoor, but I think there is opening outside. We have a very lovely, fancy cat house that my husband built for one of our previous cats who was beloved and has moved on. But we can surely roll the cat house back out for 3 little kittens. That's kind of like where if I've got a real voice in this, that's where I'm thinking, right?
Oh man, I think I might be making a visit to your house soon. I love animals, so I'm all for it. But that's amazing. And just in case you didn't know, but we've asked this question to all of our national office staff members. So I'm curious on your answer. Which do you prefer, coffee or tea? And then why?
Ooh, okay. So like I'm coffee all the way, right? Strong, black, all day long, right? Why do I like coffee? That's an interesting question. I grew up, my parents drank coffee, my grandparents drank coffee. And so in part, it really is the smell of coffee, in the morning, like I don't know, it's calming, right? And energizing, right? With the caffeine that you get out of it. So I don't know.
That's a very interesting way to put it. I feel sort of the same. Coffee does smell amazing. Tea also smells amazing to me too, but I feel like it's only the stronger teas that I can necessarily smell. So I feel you on that. I like it. I like the answer. And then last but not least, what are you most looking forward to for this membership here?
Well, I think I'm really excited about this year. Amid the continued uncertainty that the pandemic is bringing to our lives, CUR continues to be such a bright spot, and I think there's so much to look forward to. Because of strong leadership and sound fiscal management, we're faring really well through the challenges of the pandemic, and I'm really proud of that. CUR is helping to harness and share the valuable undergraduate research resources, experiences, and expertise in new ways, and during a time when we really need to lean on one another. So I'm really excited about what we are continuing to bring and the support to our community.
No, I have nothing to add to that. That's amazing. And I look forward to that too. I think that this year, as much as we were hoping for something that, was different than what we're getting right now, I think that we're really doing an amazing job. We have really proven that our members are such flexible people and they're so strong. So I look forward to this year and what we can bring, and especially to your CUR presidency. So speaking of the governance of everything, let's talk a little bit about that. So about the board and our committees. How is that made up? What is the board's focus for this year?
Right, sure. So I'll talk a little bit about just the board composition first. There's 18 members, president, immediate past president, president-elect, treasurer, 9 council representatives, 4 general reps, and the executive officer serves as a non-voting ex officio member. Such a committed group of folks, really dedicated to our mission, as you know. Of course, for our work, we are continuing to advance the strategic plan and our 5 goals that we have articulated there. Our focus for this year really cuts across the 5 goals in 3 areas. We recently launched working groups dedicated to 3 focal areas. So they are cultivating a diverse and robust leadership pipeline for CUR, taking a deep dive into understanding the drivers for change in higher education and thinking about how these impact CUR, and exploring a CUR summit focused on career readiness and undergraduate research.
Okay, and just so if anybody wants to dive more into our strategic plan, it's from 2020 to 2025, as Jean had mentioned, and you can find it on our website, CUR.org, and it's under Who Are We? But that's amazing. And then part of our governance also includes our 13 divisions as well. And as you know, we have opened our nominations, or we're about to open up our nominations for CUR counselors for those 13 divisions and some executive board member positions. Can you tell us a little bit about the importance of self-nominating or nominating a colleague?
Sure. Yes. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Such a great time to be able to encourage folks to think about these opportunities. So we'll start with the CUR counselors. Each division has up to 24 counselors. These positions are self-nominations, and we're encouraging folks to throw their hat into the ring, or to bring the opportunity to the attention of someone who they think would be an important voice to bring to the table. It's really important for the health of the divisions and CUR broadly to have a full slate of counselors. They generate robust discussions, bring diverse experiences and expertise, and really help CUR advance our mission with a full understanding of the breadth and depth of the diversity within the division.
So that was really good about all of the counselors, but at the same time, we're going to be doing executive board positions. There's certain ones that are opening. Can you tell us about those and what the expectations are?
Excellent. Yes, thanks, Elizabeth, for bringing those up. These are just so critical to the health and future of CUR. So we have 3 council representative positions coming up for election. These are also self-nominations. Eligible folks are current counselors who must remain so for the duration of the term. We also have 1 general rep position opening up on the board. This one is not a self-nominate. I encourage members and counselors alike to submit nominations of potential candidates by November 15th to the nominations vetting committee. Their role is to review and invite applicants to move forward with full applications. It's important to know that candidates for the general rep do not need to be members of CUR at the time of the nomination. We're really looking to diversify the voices to help steward CUR into these next waters that we are engaging in. So if you know someone in an allied role or association to CUR who you think would be a good candidate, I encourage you to nominate them. And then finally, we will also need to choose a new president-elect. This, of course, is a really critical position to the health of our organization. I know our board is working to help cultivate the pipeline for the general rep and the new president-elect positions. But, there may be other folks out there that, are thinking that this might be the time for them, and we don't know everybody, right? This is a self-nomination, and I encourage the CUR community to think about this, right? It's a really great opportunity. Nominate yourself, tap a colleague on the shoulder, recommend that they consider it. I'm also happy to speak with folks who are thinking about a self-nomination or someone they would like me to talk to. I'm happy to talk with folks about the opportunity.
And I mean, hey, they might be interviewed by me, right?
Well, okay. And that is at the top of the list, right?
Of course. So you did mention, though, that that these positions don't necessarily need to be a CUR member at the time of nominations. But then can you explain when they would need to become a member? Because before you mentioned once they're elected, correct?
Right. So that's specifically for the general rep position, right? Okay. So there is a space of time between when someone would nominate a person to serve. The nominations vetting committee will consider the slate and then ask for a full application. And so it's at that time that the person can consider whether this is something that is right for them at this time and then move forward with a membership then.
Perfect. So that clarifies a lot of things. So what I was also going to say, though, is for those who don't know about our 13 divisions, you can check them out. They're also listed on the website under our governance. But you also have to declare your division as well as your primary division in order to run for that division. And you can do that by going to cur.org/welcome. And it goes with the steps and a little video on how to update your profile there. And that's cur.org/welcome. Sorry, that was like a little marketing ploy in there, right?
I totally appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about something else that really came up in the last couple of board meetings. Is I know it's something that you had been pushing for your presidency, and let's I'll leave it in your words. So what are you wanting to achieve this presidency?
Yeah, no, of course, excellent question, right? So, and super hard to answer, believe it or not, right? So if I'm trying to bucket in, there's so much opportunity and so much to navigate right now. But broadly, I would like to engage an expanded, more diverse group of stakeholders in the conversation on the transformative power of undergraduate research in general, and particularly how this pedagogical approach prepares our students for success in their careers. And the broad working groups are aimed at advancing this idea from various perspectives. Another driver.
Oh, okay. All right. Keep going.
Our new definition of undergraduate research. So that's kind of where my mind is in thinking about what I'm hoping we can accomplish this year.
Okay, let's back it up. Wait, because that was a big one. So a new definition of undergraduate research. Can you tell us, how did this come to light? How was this process developed? What is the new definition?
Right, sure. Yes, thank you. Right. So immediate past president Sylvia Ronco charged a group of executive board members and counselors to update the definition of undergraduate research last year, reflecting the broadened scope of undergraduate research, scholarship, and creative inquiry, as well as giving attention to equity, diversity, and inclusion. So I was delighted to be charged to lead that group, and we spent the better part of last year working with various stakeholders in the CUR community through an iterative process to update the definition. So where we landed is we started with a framing statement for our new definition, and that is undergraduate research, scholarship, and creative inquiry is fundamentally a pedagogical approach to teaching and learning with an emphasis on process. CUR defines undergraduate research as a mentored investigation or creative inquiry conducted by undergraduates that seeks to make a scholarly or artistic contribution to knowledge.
I love it. So where can we find it? I'm not expecting people to just remember what they hear in here. So where can they find this?
No, sure. So it can be found on the mission and vision page on our website.
Okay. And just to throw it out there, what are you expecting for people to do with this new definition? How will it help them?
Yeah, no, another great question. So we're excited to spend this year helping folks think through that, right? So the first piece is that the new definition in many ways really reflects reality in how undergraduate research has been practiced on many campuses, right? And so I think there brings greater alignment. It also is more inclusive in terms of the diversity of places and individuals, folks, groups who are engaging in undergraduate research. And so I think it really can help folks advance what they're trying to do in the space of undergraduate research in multiple ways, right? So it can be used on campuses to update definitions, bring more folks into the fold. It can be used to help advance institutional efforts. It can be used broadly within allied stakeholder communities, right? Internships, associations, right? In industry, in community partners. Mm-hmm. So really thinking in a broad way how folks can think about and leverage the definition to help advance their own goals.
Yeah. And I think that's, you mentioned it before, this is the first step. And throughout this year, we'll be helping, you'll be helping guide them on how to basically implement this new definition and how it could be helpful to their institution or, an advocacy group or things of that sort. Mm-hmm. So that's a huge bombshell that you just threw out there, a whole new definition, right?
Yeah.
But I know that there's much more things that are happening this membership year as well. So let's talk about a lot of the news for our community. I'm excited for what's in store. Can you remind us of some upcoming deadlines that we have?
Sure, happy to, right? So the RU Symposium is going to be virtual this year. That will be on October 25th and open to all. Also, as I'm sure folks have seen on social media, CUR abstract deadlines have been announced and are out there. Early abstract submission closes October 20th. Full submissions close November 17th. We're also looking for volunteers for abstract reviewers and facilitating division cohorts. So I know there's a lot of folks who are interested in contributing their time and energy to support this wonderful event. And you can, here I'll plug now, you can check out how to volunteer on cur.org/NCUR 2022.
Are you trying to take my job?
I am totally, right?
No, that's awesome. What else is there?
So, of course, Posters on the Hill is happening again this year. Submissions open October 25th. The timeline is posted on the Posters on the Hill page, so encourage folks to check that out. Also, the thankful month for November, right? You know, as we are continuing the theme of gratitude, which I feel like has just been heightened since, early 2020. There's a lot of exciting things that will be happening starting November 1st. So I encourage folks to check email and specifics on how they can get involved.
I can't believe that it's almost November. The fact that I just had my kids ask me what they were going to wear for Halloween the other day. I'm like, wait, where did summer go?
No.
So this has been so great. And thank you so much for joining us. I know this was, just basically a portion of what we go over and what you guys talk about in the board and what's happening behind the scenes. But it's so great to put this out and forward for our members to kind of get a hold of. So to continue that transparency and strong communication between that community, we're going to have a quarterly CUR President Quarterly, where we will continue to interview you on specific hot topics, and you can submit. As anybody listening to here, you can submit questions to be reviewed by emailing eMorris with 1 R at cur.org. I know my husband did that, not me. And they can be possibly asked at our next CUR Quarterly. And deadlines for these questions are outlined on our volunteer page. The next release of this will be January 27th, followed by an April and June release as well. And I am so looking forward to more interviews and talking to you again, Jean. Any other sign-off, last-minute words to say?
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk with you, Elizabeth. I so enjoy it. And thank you so much for your time and help in getting all of this information out to our community at, I think, such a critical time. So thank you.
No problem. It's been wonderful. Okay, I will see you later. Bye.